Good morning, and it's always nice to see meet all of you all in this masterclass series that we do. And today we have Mr. Vijay Ladha, who's been.
No, I want no introduction done. They have my LinkedIn profile. Either they've read it or they've not read it. Sorry.
Yes, Vijay, just one
first lesson in entrepreneurship: never invest your time with someone you don't know. That's wastage of time. So I presume and hope that all of you know enough about me. If you don't, learn that lesson you should have known before you came in here. Like I knew about the kind of industries I am addressing. I didn't know the countries, yes, but I knew the various industries. Because I won't talk, I should know. If I suddenly find one Narendra Modi or Rahul Gandhi there, then I don't want to get started. So I was very clear whom and what I'm talking. So no introduction, Pratna. They have to find out on their own. As an entrepreneur, explore and find out if they're wasting their time with me.
No introduction, Vijay. I just want to say you've been mentioning all our startups for quite some time and with the foundation.
Yes, I'm older.
Pratna Uday here. I think Vijay is absolutely right. Those of us who wanted to know about him and the class have gone through every word that's written, not just in his LinkedIn profile, but anything and everything that is there on the digital footprint. So one has done this.
That is what the profiles are for. I mean, you've got to set your expectations clear. Otherwise, I've had a class earlier on pricing with Wadhwani Foundation when somebody said, sir, Google talks of this formula for pricing. And I can't imagine Google giving a pricing formula because it's just not as feasible account. But those kind of things I do come across. Okay, so now I shall take some time in talking some theory about pricing as per me. Then I would wish to discuss one specific example on pricing, just to give you an idea as to how I consider pricing is relevant and important for decision making. And then we will take up on question answers. You can keep writing your questions, which I shall not be reading. Breaks my thought, but Pratna, I would want you to keep a track on the questions. Anything written to you on the chat, and we will take it up. I promise you I will read all the questions. I promise you I'll try and answer them. And I promise you I may not know some of those answers, because in business there are no answers. There are views, there are perspectives. So can I share my screen, Pratna? Do I have the right? Can I share my screen?
Yes, Vijay.
So I will do this quick little PPT about few theory points which I wish to cover, and then one example which I would wish to discuss personally. Is this fine?
Yeah, it is. We can see your screen.
Good. That should be fine.
Yes.
Yes. So pricing, a combination of lots of things. We all know that. Please don't look for any answers from me. I can give you perspectives, different ways of looking at it, but this is a critical thing, has no answers otherwise. I just wish to draw some clear definition of some words which we use and which matter a lot in any discussion, which is business. So business has to be a physical or a mental activity with an intent of making profit. If any of you still don't agree to an intent of making profit, but want to make a social impact, my passion, I love doing this, nobody's doing this, sorry, all bunkum. The intent of doing business has to be making profits. Okay, everything else is secondary, the impact XYZ. So business definition, profit definition is always profit from operations as far as I'm concerned. A sustainable, regular profitability the business should show. It need not make sometimes that the excitement of business, but it should always be there. Definition of customer, which is the person who would pay for whatever you're doing. There in many businesses today, there's a very clear difference between a user and a customer, and we keep mixing between these two. So I would like to specify customer is somebody who would decide and open the purse, write the check or transfer it digitally, but the one who would pay for it. So we are not customers of Facebook and Google, we are users. The customer concept has to be clear to be able to target it properly. Costing, in each business, it is different. Many of you may be tech businesses. So the way you cost your product is very different. Very few things which are directly cost and lots of it on an IP level. All this has to be very clear before you move on to deciding price. Price is the only factor on the revenue side of the balance sheet. Everything on the profit and loss account, everything else is on the expense side. Your cost controls, various costs are all on the expense side. Price is the only thing which will determine the profitability from the revenue side. It's a price, simply said, is what you want to charge for your thing, but it's not as simple. We all know this would depend on whom are you selling, because price is something which will depend on whom are you selling, who is your target customer, what is that you are selling, what is your long-term sustainability. All that will decide price. There is nothing called the right price. Price is right for the day, for the moment, for whatever you're trying to achieve at that point of time. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had these Black Fridays and Amazon days and XYZ. So pricing, the only purpose of business, profit, customer, cost, and pricing is to maximize your profit, right? And that is where price will play an important role, being the only factor on the revenue side to tell you what could it be. There are different price strategies for sure. On basic levels, which we can, you have the value-based pricing, which is based on how much your customer believes your product or service is worth. When to use it is for businesses that stand out from the competition. You have a very clear value-based offering on in terms of your product or services. Downside is it's not effective sometimes for a new product because the value is not perceived by the customer. So you've got to be selling it differently or pricing it differently on those counts. You could have a competitive pricing, which would be strategically adjusting pricing based on the competition, because if there are many number of people who are offering, if not similar product or services, you have to be in the range somewhere. You use this when you don't stand up so very clearly against a competitor. And downside is you continuously keep monitoring the competition. There can be a lot of work for small companies, but you got to be knowing how they are pricing, what they are pricing, and how they're going ahead about this. You could have a cost plus pricing, which is based on the sum of overheads with desired profits that you wish to extrapolate. When to use it, you build trust because it's easy to communicate and justify. A cost plus pricing, you know your cost and you add on to it to get to your pricing. You ignore the brand image and competition many times if you can, and if you're strong enough in a cost plus pricing. You could have a penetration pricing when you're entering a hard market. You're lowering prices to increase the number of customers, something like what Jio did in India. They entered the market with a zero pricing, got the market, and then got into commercializing or monetizing their thing. When to use it, it's good when you have a lot of competitors. Jio realized, somebody told them, and they realized that instead of spending money on marketing, go free to the customer. Free would attract, no cost would attract, and then start proving your credentials and worth, which they did. They hardly had any marketing expenses, which was offset by the cost which they must have incurred for providing services, but then they did break it. The downside is you may attract bargain hunters, which aren't very loyal, which keep moving, but then they are the consumer segment you can't do anything about. You'll have to just go with it. You could have the demand pricing, which is based on various areas where needs geographically. You could have overwork teams, which will reduce their workload. When to use it, demand pricing. And it may alienate customers who miss out on deals because they would have to get a pricing based on the various demand levels they are at. You could have tiered pricing, different tiers for different pricing. based on different amounts or services or kinds that you do. It's good for value-focused consumers, encourages customers to spend more, and you must know your target market really, really well to be able to try this. So finally, it is putting some balance into your value and cost, which differs for person to person, product to product. For the same product and the same service also, it depends from the business, the way you're targeting your customer, where are you trying to reach whom and how. Okay, so let's have a small example. We are in Christmas times, Merry Christmas time. So let's imagine that we are somebody who are in the business of celebrating Christmas. I'm just using this example in the current level. It has nothing to do with Christmas otherwise for sure. But I just thought I will use this example in the current level. So supposing we are in the business of celebrating Christmas, right? The example is you are a gift supplier. You have access to Christmas trees business, festival, shopping time. You have the business potential and you have asked your costing team to get you the costing of the product, and they've given you various costing at various levels. Then you have gone to your marketing team to give you different target customers at different price point strategies. And they have given you also that, okay, these are the prices, these are the markets, these are the customers, and we could try and achieve these quantities. So you have the costing from your accounts team, and you have the marketing from your marketing team. Now, as a management, you need to decide what to do. What would be your price decision with these data there? The question is important because that will finally determine as to what sales you're logging in, what revenue you're trying to get, which is the main purpose for you being there. Take, for example, the costing team has told you there are 8 different options of a cost of a tree. Few at 100, 125, 150, whatever variations, size, XYZ, and material. It also gives you 10 different variations on packaging and accessories, right from 10 rupees to 250 rupees. That we can package it differently, we can put some accessory, we can put a small Santa Claus cap or whatever XYZ, and this is how it would look. You can have different packaging and accessories. And hence the total cost is different from 110 to 400, wherein the fixed cost is 5,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees for the 8 options. Now, how would you decide the pricing in this case? Difficult to decide. So you put the information, not all of this, but saying that there are 8 different options. You have told your marketing team, and they have come up with figures which tell you that they can sell the first one at 200 rupees to 2,000 people, 225 to 1,800 different combinations they can sell this to, and have asked you, given you various commitments and figures as to how the last one they can sell for 1,000 rupees, 600 numbers. I now throw open the question and ask you, what price would you want to sell? Come on. These are the figures given to you by your accounts team and by your marketing team. And you got to decide the pricing. Tell me, what pricing would you want to decide? Come on, come on, come on. What pricing would you want to decide? I can't see any of you because I'm sharing screen. So just put your mic on and speak. What happened? What price would you want to decide?
It would really it would depend on the target segment.
No, give me the answer. The data is here in front of you. Tell me, I would like to decide this price for this reason. Go ahead.
Will that differ? I would go with the first one.
You'll go with the first one. Okay.
Yes. For a simple reason that it seems to fall in a bracket which is going to take the product massy.
Okay.
And it is a festival, so you want to cover as many people.
Good. Explained well. Explained. Anyone else?
So I would actually populate more cells in the Excel with the multiplier of 200 into 2000 minus 5000 minus 110 and look at the total profitability and go in a descending order. That would be my prioritization. I mean, I'm a simple profit.
2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes. So there, yes, those cells I have populated, but I'll show you after 5 minutes. Give me an answer. Do it on your worksheet anywhere. You don't need all the cells, but a rough paper and pen would work.
Yeah.
My question is, what price would you want to sell? Come on, who else?
Maybe take average of it, say 400 or 500, since it's a festival time and people will
Give me one of the 8 options first. Where are you in those 8 options? Like you're on 4th option, 5th option?
4th makes sense.
4th makes sense. Okay. Any reason why?
I'd go with number 8. Number 8.
Number 8. Why number 8?
Because I'm selling only 600 and I can maximize my profits by only selling 600 at 1,000.
Good. Now what else? Anyone else? We have had somebody at 1, somebody at 4, somebody at 8. Same figures applicable to everybody, but everybody has a different logic of deciding. That is the beauty of pricing. That is why there is nothing called the best pricing. We all need to decide on pricing based on our logic. Any other logic that you apply?
Since it's just Christmas business, I would go for 8 because it's a season-wise business that we will get to do, right? So if I'm able to maximize my profits, then that's the best case scenario for me.
What you're trying to tell me is if it is a non-seasonal business, you will not want to maximize profits?
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is that in this case, I do not worry about the number of people that I'm touching because in the first case scenario, I think my earnings are lesser than that of the last case scenario, right? So if I'm anyway going to be operating only during the Christmas time, then might as well make more of even if I'm reaching out to less customers at that particular pricing.
Supposing I change the product from Christmas tree to dosa batter, will your answer change?
Yes, if it's a dosa batter, it's a regular business for me. So more customers is equal to a long-lasting kind of a ongoing business. So yes, my answer will change.
Okay, interesting. Anyone else? Come on. Back to Christmas tree. Remove the dosa batter. We are back to Christmas tree. These are the figures we have. What is the pricing you would wish to decide?
I would select 500. That means option 5.
Okay.
It's a moderate one for the selling price as well as the quantity.
Okay. Right. So between whatever we are, some 30 of us here, we have people who are thinking at the bottom, at the top, at the average, at the between, somewhere XYZ, right? Anybody else would wish to add a different perspective to it?
Yeah, Ridhima here. I would like to say either 4th or 5th will work because going to 8, which is a very nice scenario, but market will play its role and won't let us sell at that price and make that amount of a profit.
Okay. What you're trying to say is the marketing people, the figures they've given don't really make you feel confident.
No, for us to sell at that amount of profit, there is a huge market also play. Like others are also selling Christmas trees with a wonderful packaging. So if they are also selling at that price, that is when we can do that. Otherwise, if our selling price is very high as compared to the existing market around us, we won't be able to sell anything.
Yeah, so that is where you're still having a little doubt with the marketing team if the figures they are committing are right or wrong or achievable or non-achievable. Fine
Yeah,
enough, good enough, good.
external factors. Yeah, the external competition at play.
This is how are the two extra columns which somebody is trying to extrapolate, which is there based on mathematical working that if on
So
yeah, Uday. So this is what you're trying to
So
do.
I was trying to say this, but I also wanted to add that I would keep three categories of 100, 125, 150. And in that, the maximization in the 100 would be 471, 800, which is the fourth one in that list, which is 4,80,000 minus 8,200 costing, which is 471, 800. In the 125, the first one is a better one. So I keep that for the mid-size market, which is 4,90,750 after costing. And then come to the last one, which obviously 5,84,600 would be the best. So three categories, one for small, medium, and large, or low cost customers, medium size, and the large size. That would be my rationale, but maximizing profit in each of the categories of price categories.
So what you're trying to say is you would have 3 price points and 3 products.
I would have 3 products because I assume that the low cost 100 would be a product which doesn't have any frills. It's a vanilla. The 125 would be the medium, and then the 150 would be the premium. Let's say the premium. So in each of these, because I have multiple costings based on numbers or quantities, with the marketing has also said, when I multiply the costings of, let's say, the first one and remove the costing is 3,94,890 for the first line item, goes down to 4,71,800 for the fourth line item. So that is the best combination. So I would choose that combination and tell the marketing to go ahead with that. The fourth line, which is 4,80,000 minus 8,200, which is 471,800. So that's the rationale that I would apply in each price category. But I will retain these 3 so that I cater to the vanilla customers, the medium, and the large, the premium.
Good. Anybody else would like who have previously given an option of first or fourth, fifth, and eighth, want to change the option, look at some logic more than that here? No, you're still sticking to the option that you have talked about. So which price would you decide would determine primarily what happens? Now, the trick is, first thing, according to me, Uday, I would do what you have said, and this is something I don't know why people don't think sometimes. The question was not that which is one price. When we have a market which spans over different price points, why we can't have 3 or 4 products to ensure that our target customer is widely covered? Do all businesses not offer different price points or different menu system? Even BMW and Mercs offer variations there, right? So first thing is, the purpose of deciding price should always, according to me, be maximizing profit. It is never maximizing customers. If you try just to maximize number of customers, you may not land up making profits at times in short run, medium run, and sometimes never in long run, because you're stuck somewhere in maximizing number of customers. The purpose of business is never to maximize number of customers. It is to maximize profits. So a right combination of pricing and target customers would work. Please don't rely only on what you read here about Amazon and Flipkart and all. Those are very, very different business models. But if on our simple 1, 2, 4 product business models, we're talking of maximizing profit, have the working clear with you and get over this of increasing number of customers as a target only. Try to maximize profit, but at the same time, I had never said, and which is not needed, that just one price point, I will only sell to the 8th category. No, Sell the fourth also, first also, sell everything. Decide 3 categories, 4 categories. Let the target customer decide that I want to buy a Christmas tree at 300, 500 or 1000. Most of the times entrepreneurs complain that my price, there are customers who are saying you're very expensive, and there are customers who are not buying it because they think you're very cheap, your quality may not be worth it. Who is wrong? Not both. Both are right. Those are two different segments of customers. If you want to attain both, you will have to have two different offerings for them and let them decide what is that they want to do it. To me, the answer is simple. When you walk into a restaurant and look at the menu card, you will find normally 20 items of paneer there, starting from paneer basic to paneer XYZ, Lawabi, Lucknowi, Kanpuri, XYZ. The price points will vary from 200 rupees to 600 rupees a dish. Do you ever sit down and imagine if there's a costing difference? You ask the waiter, he will tell you 600 once is made in almond gravy. That doesn't mean he's going to put 400 worth of almonds in that. But which one will you order? It depends on you have gone with. If you are alone, you will order the 201. If you have gone with your wife, you may go up to 301. If it's a girlfriend, you will go up to the 451. If it's a business associate, you're expecting order, you'll order the 601. It has nothing to do with paneer. It has nothing to do with costing pricing. The restaurant is just trying to give you the choice to decide appropriately for what you are doing it. That is the trick of pricing.
Just one question here. Supriya here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So in case of the Christmas trees, will the quality differ for different pricing?
No.
Okay.
It does not. If you look at my first statement, I put only 3 different trees there. I added more money on packaging and accessories. I didn't know what it was. There could be some 2 balls in some, there could be a Santa cap in some. Is there a great logic when you find pricing done? When you're going to buy a Christmas tree, you would look at the tree, look at the price and decide if this is in your range. If your range is 100 rupees, you will buy it 80 rupees or 120,000 rupee price. You will tell the child, no, next year we'll buy a bigger one. Let's go home. The child will never understand why you said so. So it is not always the quality. It is also a combination. I can tell you any example you wish to take, right from Maruti. Maruti has 20 different kind of cars, and each car has 5 or 7 variants. Are those prices done on a logic of costing or anywhere? You take a BMW or you take a Ferrari or anything, none of them are single variant. Why are there variations in that? Because even at those levels of customer, you want to decide based on a particular price point. You don't question him then saying that, no, okay, this is a Dolby Bose music system, so 1 lakh rupees more. You know very well the Dolby Bose music system doesn't cost 1 lakh rupees. But that's not how you decide. You don't break it up into costing and decide. So the quality will not matter so much. What matters is you can't tell the customer what's your budget. Try asking your customer what's your budget and he will never tell you, because he can't tell you it's only 100 rupees. It is demeaning for me. He can't tell you it's 1000 rupees because you will fleece him. But if you give him a menu card of 100 to 1000 rupees, he will select it accordingly, going 1 step above or 1 step below where he is. Whoever, when we see a restaurant menu card, we start from the right side and then go and ask, Kolhapuri mein mirchi nahi hai na? This is not like this. This is cashew is there in this. No, yes. We find a logic and reason in our decision, but we want to decide based on the menu card. So always give a menu card. Price point is important, but it does not mean just one price point. Have multiple price point. Let the customer decide. There could be a customer of a lower range. There could be a customer of higher range. Why are you not giving him that option to decide?
Vijay, the other interesting thing is that customers, if let's say they walk in at a particular price point, they can continuously be absurd in terms of adding value, and slowly you can take him from a lower range which you would have come in for in the market, and as a good marketeer you could have taken him at least to the midpoint, or somebody's in the midpoint, you can take him to the high range by good marketing skills of positioning the right way, finding out what is his true need. Like you said, he's in the restaurant with somebody who is a very senior business associate and he wants to impress him. So one is that. Second is that if the person does not have the money physically with him, it's quite possible that if you have a tie-up with a bank or whatever else, or any other form of cash transactions or non-cash transactions, you can all start offering that, which means that you've sold the value and the sale is not stopped because he doesn't have enough money. But if you can have the balance of finance on a 0% interest, etc., which is one of the things that's happening in the festival season, all that can also up the value chain. So there are many marketing techniques that can help in moving the range of the person, but it's good to get them at a particular peg point. Otherwise, if you just put 1,000 rupees and he'll walk away because he doesn't see the range that he's looking at. Whereas if you have a range, he walks in at a particular price, and then with good marketing skill and capabilities, you can move him up the chain.
Yeah, so the answer to my question is not the quality, but maybe the features. You keep adding features and just to justify the
just to justify his decision making, not necessarily even the pricing. I do not know how many times you people have tried this, but I'm telling you, please try this. Try this from simple products. Try this on simple things. You go to a normal provision store, a departmental store, you will find one, whatever, a talcum powder or a soap or cornflakes or whatever. You find 100-gram packaging, and you find one packaging which says 25% free. Let's accept it, being businessmen and marketing people, that there's really nothing free in life. Have you ever tried calculating per gram cost of those two packaging? You may be surprised, and that's a challenge I have to give you. You may be surprised that 100 grams without 25% free, or another one with 25% free, the 100 gram is sometimes cheaper on a per gram calculation. But we don't do it. We are enamored by the 25% free and we would buy it.
No, Sorry, Vijay, I beg to differ. I actually do that every month when I go shopping. I work things through the calculator.
Absolutely. I'm happy, Chris, if you do this. If you do this, Chris, I am happy, because with this new advent of departmental store buying, where it's lots of impulse buying, you have access to all the packaging. In India, we have the law, and which needs to be still followed, is any product you give with the offer, you have to have the same product without the offer also on the shelf. I'm talking of physical products only right now. So it's interesting to know and understand and learn from this. But there is no bad will attached to it, or what customer will think, or cheating. All of us fly, right? Have you ever asked the fellow sitting next to you in the seat saying, hey, I paid 7,000 rupees for this ticket. How much did you pay? Knowing very well that he might have even paid half of what you're paying, though he's sitting on the same aircraft, having the same facility and flying. Is this cheating? No, this is not cheating. The whole airline pricing is pure opportunity pricing, right? We don't even discuss it. We don't even ask it. All the Diwali sales, Amazon sales, you go and buy the same product after 3 days, and the fellow will tell you, sir, discount is over. Do you tell him you're cheating me? If you gave a discount 2 days back, what happened to discount today? We have happy hours 5 to 7, one beer free for one beer. Can you go at 7:30 and ask for where is my free beer? I could have come here half an hour earlier. No. So pricing is a trick which the customer should be aware about. You should give him the multiple choices to decide what to do. There's nothing called a right price or a wrong price. What's more important is, do you know your target customer very clearly? If the target customer is a Mercedes buyer, he is not going to buy a Maruti car just because it is cheap. You have got to identify your target customer clear. If you can attach different target customers, it is better. You will go across spectrum to divide the work that you have and to get over that problem that some customers think you are cheap, some customers think you are expensive. You have to attach both of them. You can't have one pricing for them. There have to be different pricing for them.
Vijay, one other thing is when is the person coming in to buy? If you take real estate, and most of the best buys happen very early in the building cycle. As you come closer to the handover periods, or when the complete real estate or buildings are all complete and ready from a showcase perspective, the price will be very, very high. It's also about timing. If you took the airline example, so if I had booked my tickets, let's say 3 months ago, my price would have been definitely higher. So in the startup world as well, if you want penetrative pricing or early customers or iconic customers whom you can then market further, you need to obviously give a differential pricing to the early buyer vis-a-vis when a person is coming in the red ocean period. That is, you have everything going and you have a volume sales, and there is no additional benefit you get by adding that one extra customer. So I think it's also about timing, isn't it? I mean, in terms of how you price.
Absolutely everything. Pricing is an exercise. You will have to be doing it every day, every moment differently for the customers. Identifying the customer, that this customer, is it for the price point I'm offering, or I can offer a vanilla product to him for a different thing, saying, yeah, sir, this cap and all of Santa Claus is not important. Tree is important. You can buy this. It is the same tree. You're not lying. You're not being dishonest, nothing, but it is the price point which is important. You can't have a customer wanting to buy a two-wheeler and you sell a Mercedes to him. No, even if you want to buy a Maruti, you can't sell a Mercedes to him, but identifying them is important. We maybe waste a lot of time with people who are not the right target customer, and that becomes the key. As you rightly said, Uday, it's important to find out the customer, the price point, and how you can maximize benefits from them all the time. In your kind of a thing, the repeatability, every year renewal of whatever contracts you have is important. But is there a better example to learn from than, say, from Microsoft? Many years back, they started with Office CDs, not CDs, God knows, floppies, I guess, till CDs came, then the locks came. Then the India proved it to them, piracy is fine, that's how we live and work with. I know of people here who still use Office 2003 and are very happy with it because they anyway use 5% of the features. Till Microsoft realized that more than the money, they need money per year, because Microsoft has to run per year. I may be very happy using a Microsoft Office for 25 years, done with. Little I realized that what I paid for was not Microsoft Office. I just paid for the license for usage of it. It doesn't belong to me really. So now finally how they kept moving, came bundled with the laptop, then they moved on to now cloud because they need a monthly thing. They aren't offering you a long-term solution. They're only offering you a monthly solution because they want to pay salaries per month. Now, have they not learned this? Even somebody at that volume had to decide pricing to suit. And today they are on a pure subscription monthly cloud-based model. So it's lots to learn. F&B is one great industry. Pricing should be learned at. Without costing, they never know what is the cost of a coffee or a cost of a masala dosa, but they still offer everything. They cannot stop offering a coffee even if they are making a loss in that, because no coffee, no masala dosa sells. So it's a very different combination. You got to look at your business, your customer, your combination, and maximizing profits is the key. Maximizing customers is not always the key. I get surprised when I am answering saying, no, here I'll get 1,000 customers at 100 rupee Christmas tree. No, sorry. I am happy doing 100 customers at 1,000 rupee a tree. Otherwise, tomorrow, are you going to tell me that Mercedes should start making three-wheelers in India because huge Bajaj Auto is having huge rickshaw market here? No. Then you will suddenly shift me to saying, no, brand image. No, it's not brand image. They can still make it a three-wheeler, not call it Mercedes and do it. No, but that's not their price point. So pricing is an important trick. You have to try it with all the information that you have, keep moving it, offer different price points, and try maximizing revenue, which is what is more important, not just numbers and XYZ. This is what I would feel. Go ahead. Lots of people quiet who must not be agreeing to me. That's why they're quiet, I guess. Go ahead. Break it up. Pratna, anything on the chat that I had to look at? Not yet.
No, Vijay.
Yeah.
Okay, you have something?
So, yeah, sorry, Supriya again. So can you also throw some light on pricing of services?
Show me the darkness, I'll throw the light on that. What is the darkness? Yeah. So price on services, what is it? You call yourself barber, you can cost 100 rupees. You turn to call yourself hairstylist, you can charge 500 rupees. Right? You have a Italian shop, we used to call it, that is doing it on the eat, sitting on the corner, or you become a air conditioned place, you charge it differently. So services also goes in services. The only thing is costing is not clear.
Yes.
That is the only problem you have, which is sometimes an advantage, sometimes a disadvantage. Like if you have a tech business, a tech product, so-called tech product, like Office from Microsoft, they sell another copy or they don't sell another copy. The costing of handling Microsoft Office is already done. So every additional copy is additional revenue for them, which is a different method of marginal costing, because every additional sale is additional money. The costing is already done, which you got to decide that to do this kind of a costing for developing a service, I should get so much revenue. I get it from 100 customers, 500 customers is for me to decide. Otherwise, give me a specific question that you have on service, Supriya. I'll try and answer.
Yeah, that is what. So the cost is not always clear.
Yes, so work on your costing and be clear. Why it can't be clear? Why cost? Because in your case, the costing is a lot of your intellectual properties. Putting a cost on that is difficult. But then, to me, as you have rent is the cost of place, interest is the cost of money. So salary is the cost of time. So even if you're not drawing salary from your own business, you're costing your time. You're worth so much. You may not be drawing that amount from your own business as an entrepreneur, but if you were to be in a corporate job, this would be your cost. That cost is what you have to recover. So for theoretical costing purposes, you can do your costing very clearly and divide that costing clearly as to what is a one-time cost which you got to recover and what would be a recurring cost. I've had a couple of interactions with people who have put up some subscription model, but are finding it difficult for people to pay up the subscriptions again. They've put up a yearly subscription model, but that only works for a financial year or a calendar year. They do not know how to, if somebody comes in between, then how do you handle that subscription? Though I'm sure the technology would allow that. I've been in talk with somebody who is into tuitions and says that a student who comes in June, July, pays so much for the whole subject. But some parent comes in October and says, sorry, we are late, there's that, my son wants to do it. So you got to cover from June to October also and do everything else. How do I charge for it? One has to be very clear about it, how this is to be charged. There's nothing right or wrong about it. You want me to cover the past, there's a cost to it. You want to just join a current batch, there's no cost to it. So you decide.
Interesting. And how about the customer segment? Because if the service is the same, like we discussed about the products, maybe the Christmas tree and the automobile. So there are different customers, but service remains the same. So then again,
the customers don't talk to each other. That's all. The service will not remain the same. There would always be some difference on service you could keep.
So those attributes that would
always learn from F&B, always have a menu card prepared. I don't know if you have ever had a chance of importing something from China, at least many years back when I was into serious business. You should see the costing or the quotation China gives you. You want to buy pen from China, they will tell you pen so much. You want it printed so much. You want it individually packed so much. You want it bulk packed so much. They will give you such variations into it that you can hardly negotiate after that.
Interesting.
If you want without packaging, please come here with your own suitcase, buy it, keep it in your suitcase and go. How am I worried? You will get the cheapest pen, but you decide how will you sell it back home.
Supriya,
I never would agree to a bad Chinese product, because I know we Indians have gone to China and bought the cheapest product, tried selling it cheapest here, and we have said it is bad product. Chinese products are not bad. They're supplying the world over, but we would go buy the cheapest at the worst prices and sell it here and make Chinese bad product. Sorry, personal opinion. Yeah, Uday.
Yeah, just to add, Supriya, one of the things we do in the IT world, especially in the services, we are also to manage security services. We have this concept of L1, L2, L3, which is skill levels of the people delivering the same services. So if an L1 is to deliver the service would be the same, but the one is in terms of timeline, in terms of how the person would respond, etc. So one is an L1, L2, L3 kind of costing that you can do. Second is in terms of SLAs. So the higher the SLA that means, let's say you don't want to have any downtime. Just as an example, let's say you are doing telecom related businesses. You want to have 99.99999 5 nines following the 99. Then that means you have to have complete redundancy. So your costings will change because you have redundancy at every layer. So you have to add those costs, and the customer gets virtually zero downtime. That means he has got complete functionality, and that would be useful in certain segments which are very focused on downtime and operations. Whereas somebody else will say, yeah, 1 hour will not kill me. I'm okay with 99%. I don't want your 0.99999. So the issue is that you can start doing differentiation in SLAs or in types of services by the individuals concerned. The third way is, where are you delivering the services? Is it on-site? Is it near-site? Is it offshore? Again, your costing models will change and your customer will change, have a differential services. The fourth is shared services. If one person is actually not dedicated to you, but doing for all the customers in a first in, first out basis, it's a price. Whereas this, I'm only standing in for you. Like in a hotel, you have a dedicated butler to a suite. He's only doing that. He just doesn't do anything else. It's a very differential pricing. So the point is not just about services. It's about the value that the customer is getting and how much, what kind of, so like Vijay was saying, you can put a menu on that. And we do that all the time in the customer's world, and we tell them. But we can start off with a freemium, which means that you get zero costing. You just use my services, no cost us. It's a freemium. But the minute he gets used to that, he starts asking for more. That is the point of entry for your pricing model. So you are hooked in, you've come in, then you start layering your prices. And you start upping the cost over a window of time and telling this is, if you want this, then this is the price you have to pay. The same Chinese example, but without the product. Your service is your product. Which I just thought I'll add this. Sorry.
Yes, thank you.
It helps hearing it from an experienced person who does it, because this is one thing which is only human based services in tech industry. So you'll have to try all these experiments and then look at it. There is no fixed formula for anyone anytime. How do you maximize it and offer as large a menu as you can? Let the customer decide, and your marketing acumen should be able to tell you, depending on what the customer is deciding, as to what range he is at. What is that? He is a 100 rupee customer. He'll try and negotiate the 125 wala product. He will not try and negotiate the 500 wala product. So that you're willing to go one step plus minus looking at him. But you can't ask him straight away, okay, sir, so what is your budget? No, that's a very humiliating question to ask. So never ask that. Show him a thing, paneer from 200 to 400, depending on you have come with, you decide. I don't even want to know who is sitting with you, your wife or friend or whatever XYZ. Depending on what you ask, I will decide. F&B is a great place to learn. After you finished your order, the fellow will still tell you, some salad, sir. Something to drink, sir. Why that? Because those are high value items. Those are high generation items. And he knows if this fellow is with his wife, he'll say no for salad. If he is with a girlfriend or a business associate, he would say yes. He may not eat it himself, but he would say yes because he can't afford to say no.
And he wants to stay longer. And he wants to stay longer with that special
Absolutely. Person. So those are the tricks which they are taught, which they learn. They have to maximize the bill. He may not earn anything on the paneer or the roti or the XYZ, but he has to maximize the bill, which will come if you order one Coke on him or one salad on him. Nobody orders a dessert, but you would find the fellow reminding you, sir, what about some dessert? We have something special, as if he knew you are coming. No. But that is where the maximizing, that's what they are taught. I'm talking like this because my son is in the industry and I learn a lot from it. It's the most exciting business to learn from, particularly because it doesn't stand to any business logic. When you walk inside a restaurant, even we don't know what we want. So how can the owner know what I want? Target customer owner doesn't know. I may go inside, order a coffee and not order anything else, or order a lavish meal and eat it. He doesn't know. I may go inside wanting to eat chola bhatura. As soon as I say chola bhatura, wife says, no, no, no. Yesterday only we had oily thing, no chola bhatura today. And I moved to something else. After that, I finish that, the waiter or the fellow taking the order, the steward may say, no, no, our specialty is this, sir. Again, I move to something else. A menu card of 200 items, how do they handle the stocks? How do they handle the freshness? It's very interesting to know. How do they cost it? Have you ever sat down and imagined the costing there? Otherwise, why Starbucks coffee at 300 rupees and a normal street coffee at 20 rupees, both still sell? Try getting to Starbucks and say, how the hell is your coffee 300 rupees? What is their worth inside for 300 rupees? No, you don't ask, because that's for a different customer segment.
Vijay, there is also the cost of the brand, isn't it? A Starbucks brand and being seen at Starbucks with your client, having a coffee with the client at Starbucks and saying, let's meet up at Starbucks. It's all a part of a packaging that you want to present to your client.
It is whose brand? It is your brand or Starbucks is the brand?
Both. Actually, Starbucks brand costs the money, but it is also
your brand. You may hate paying the 300 rupees. Okay, a brand is not a subject I would get into there, because
no, I'm not saying that, Vijay. I'm only saying that.
Get your business numbers right. After that, add a brand as a layer to it. Okay, one question I would like to ask before I close maybe on this is on brand, just on brand, which I would like to do it. Others, if they are alive and kicking here still, what is the highest selling cola drink in this country? Can anybody tell me? Highest selling in volume, in tonnage, cola drink in this country?
Coca-Cola.
One. Anybody else?
Thumbs up, is it?
Two. Anybody else? There are only 3 brands. So you can give me all 3, but give me the right one.
The regular soda pop, which is sold in the shops, which is opened out.
Maximum, no sir, maximum cola selling brand in this country in tonnage.
Thumbs up.
Sprite maybe.
Who is Thumbs Up owned by?
Coca-Cola.
What branding are you talking about? The second largest brand in the world, Coca-Cola, is selling Thumbs Up in India? Is it demeaning? What brand theory is this?
No, so the Coca-Cola bought that particular brand and didn't want to dilute the brand that is already there in the country, right? So it is a strategy, just like
One minute, you are correct, but there's a gap in that. Coca-Cola had stopped Thumbs Up.
Yeah.
And then restarted it.
Yes, because I'm a hardcore
Thumbs Up. They restarted it.
Yes.
Till today, after I think 30 years of Coke in this country, Coke is nowhere near Thumbs Up. What branding are we talking about? You have the bloody guts as Coke, you stop Thumbs Up and prove to me that this country can take Coke. No, this country will not take Coke. They want their bloody Thumbs Up. What branding are you talking about? This is pure business. There is a McKinsey study available. Google for it and read why Coke had stopped. Coke had stopped the whole Thumbs Up, the whole range of Parle beverages when they bought it for 400 crores.
So just a counter, Vijay. So if you look at the sweet spot, the Thumbs Up taste is stronger, fizzier, and slightly spicier, which suits the Indian palate, and Coke cannot change their formulation. So the Thumbs Up suits a particular demography and people. So they continued with that, not because of brand, because that is the content. Whereas a Thumbs Up, Coke is a more sweeter, where it's not as fizzier or as spicier. So that is the fundamental of...
Yeah, but somebody like Coke, they realized whatever you're saying after stopping Thumbs Up. They did stop it for many years. And they realized they were not able to capture that market. There is a study, please read that, Uday. It's a very interesting.
Oh, surely, I will.
Two findings in that study, which all of us Indians are made unique about, which doesn't happen anywhere in the world. The findings are, why thumbs up sells more here? The reason you give is fine. It's a little technical, but that's not the reason. Indians drink thumbs up, particularly the northern belt, drinks thumbs up primarily for belching. After their oily chola bhatura and chicken kebab, you want a more carbonated drink to finally belch, which doesn't happen from Coke. Coke is not had for that purpose anywhere.
Correct.
That is something Coke could never get into.
Correct.
One. That is the reason on a McKinsey study, search for it. The second reason is still peculiar. The second reason is still peculiar. Before Coke came into this country, the thumbs up or the soft drinks were sold standing on the highway in the sun. The crates would be lying. You could pay for it, pick up a bottle from there and have it at 40 degrees temperature. You know something? Thumbs up is the only drink you can drink at any temperature. Try drinking a Coke even at 20 degrees, guaranteed you will vomit.
No, even Pepsi is insipid.
The international standard of Coke serving is 4 degrees. That is why Coke got the refrigerators into India with glass for selling Coke. Thumbs up, there is no standard. You can drink thumbs up at any temperature.
Interesting.
They realized it too late that they could not dent it. That is why thumbs up is still thumbs up in India. You don't have thumbs up light, thumbs up no sugar, thumbs up this, thumbs up that. No, thumbs up is thumbs up. Coke has 20 variations, but total also doesn't come anywhere near thumbs up. My answer to your branding question, it is business finally. It is maximizing sales finally. So you keep quiet and keep selling thumbs up over next 20 years, but still call yourself that Coke is the biggest brand. So branding is important, but business is more important. That's where I take. Thank you.
The other thing was Coke decided to use thumbs up. Coke decided to use thumbs up as a rival to Pepsi. I mean, there is also
no. I mean, this is against branding, yeah. This is the same thing as McDonald's does not sell what McDonald's is known for world over in India, right? The Big Mac
beef,
it is not sold in India. Till now, it is not sold in India. They are very fancily selling aloo tikki burgers and calling themselves McDonald's. It's okay. Business. This has got nothing to do about branding.
No, the other thing, no, I'm just bringing in, Vijay, I'm just bringing in the demographics. So one is competition against Pepsi. You're right about carbonation. The second was the 30 to 40-year-olds, which was the target segment that they went after. Whereas the young and yuppie and young ones are going after the Cokes and the other things. So I'm just saying there are many finer aspects to it, but I take your point.
I agree to you there, but if I was Coke, I will buy Parle beverages, not put Coke name on it. I may own the company and run it quietly separately. Right? But not try by changing it, closing it, had to get it back because I can't get volumes is a proof that my brand went for a toss. I could be invested in a competitive business if I find that in a different market segment and continue it. You will not even know that I'm owning that brand. Otherwise, why Tatas are now owning Vistara also, bought Indian airline also, and already are running Air Asia and now talking of merging it. So that is fine. I may own the business and run it quietly, not make noise about it that I'm going to close thumbs up. Everything they closed, only thumbs up came back. All other brands closed. There were all other brands which all got closed. It's an interesting story. Anyway, I've hit enough hard and more.
Thanks, Vijay. I think absolutely. I think we should have
anything to argue, discuss, fight with me. You can always reach out to me. I'm always there to keep the community.
No, it is a pleasure to discuss with you. There is no problem. You're the subject matter expert.
Anytime I could, please reach out to me. And this is something I enjoy doing. I would never agree to what anyone says. Otherwise, the discussion stops. That's the only reason. I may agree to what you say, but never agree to it on a platform.
Thanks, Vijay. I think we should plan for a branding session soon. So that will be the problem.
Not me. I will not. I'm absolutely agree. For me, it's business. For me, it's
Absolutely.
money. For me, it's maximizing profits. Branding, if it helps, yes. If it doesn't help, leave it separate.
Thank you. Thanks so much, Vijay. If anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We'll try to share it with Vijay and try to get it answered. And thank you so much for your support as always. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Vijay. It was really a pleasure. It was really a pleasure listening to you.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Great session.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prarthana. Thank you, Vijay.
Happy festivities to everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Yes, Merry Christmas.
Merry
to
Christmas. Happy New Year to one and all.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, guys. Thank you.